Welcome to sunny Greenville, South Carolina. The Triumph taking on the Northern Colorado Hailstorm in tonight's broadcast, presented by PNC, proud sponsor of the Triumph here in the USL League One. Kevin Rowlandson alongside Ross Davenport. This is going to be a very intriguing matchup. A lot of extenuating circumstances. We'll get to that later on, but very important match for both these teams.
For sure. Northern Colorado dealing with injuries as well as some suspensions from last week, and Greenville dealing with some health problems of their own as well.
We'll get a look at the full league table. Greenville back on top on 38 points, but they've got Richmond and Omaha breathing down their necks. Those two teams are playing tonight and have kicked off already. Northern Colorado Hailstorm down at 9th. They're a couple points off of the playoff spots with 26.
Yeah, Eamon Zayed knows how critical 3 points tonight would be for the Hailstorm's playoff hopes, but as you mentioned, Greenville can't just seem to shake Richmond and Omaha, and Greenville want that home field advantage throughout the playoffs after what happened to them last year in the championship game.
Let's take a look at tonight's player to watch, presented by Joan Herlong Associates and Sotheby's. For Greenville, it's Aaron Walker.
Yeah, influential captain on the road, but you will be captain tonight because Tyler Polak's not playing this evening. But Aaron Walker, 32, almost 90 League One appearances, scored this massive winner last week in Tucson for his 11th goal in a Greenville shirt. He can drop back into more of a 6 role, which he's been very successful at this year, or push forward as an 8, but wherever you'll play, you'll give Norte. And Danny Robles all they can handle tonight wherever he is.
We'll go to the other side for Northern Colorado. Irvin Parra has been excellent this season. His 10 goals lead the team. He scored twice in his last 3 matches, including last week against Forward Madison, and he scored in the reverse fixture a couple months ago. Yeah,
this is one of the signings in the offseason that really raised some eyebrows. A quality forward, over 100 USL Championship appearances. Lived up to the hype so far, but they've relied on him very heavily, and they'll need to again if they're going to continue perhaps a run to the playoffs the rest of the season.
So an important matchup tonight between these two sides as we build up our way to kickoff. Northern Colorado has only conceded multiple goals 7 times this year. They've lost all 7. Greenville hasn't scored multiple goals in 5 straight games. Lineups and kickoff coming up next, only on ESPN+.
There's no substitute for hard work. You have to put in the time. Dedicate yourself to the goal. I didn't make it to the Hall of Fame on my own. I had a team and we worked hard together. I had coaches and a playbook with the answers. It's no different in business. Now I own a Janny King franchise because they've got the winning playbook and a team that supports me. Get in the game and get ready to shine. Go to JannyKing.com to get started today.
My name is Ryan Mackey, high performance coach for the 2020 USL League One champions, the Greenville Triumph. We are Greenville, South Carolina's pro soccer team, and we are 3-time USL League One finalists. Premier Medical Laboratory Services is a lab that we trust for fast, accurate medical diagnostics, and they keep our athletes on the field healthy and safe. We know we can rely on them to provide the results that we need on our way to becoming the next USL League One champs.
Tonight's League One broadcast is presented by PNC, proud sponsor of the Triumph. Welcome back to our broadcast presented by PNC's. The teams head on to the field. Take a look back at the last time these two teams faced off, back in June 25th. It's not really going to give us a lot in terms of setting up this match since it was so long ago, but it's always nice to take a look.
You know, obviously 2 very different lineups tonight due to the injuries and the suspensions. This was Greenville's 2nd win in a run of 3 straight wins took that lead 1-0 with a Don Smart penalty, and they were rolling along. But then guess who popped up later? Irvin Parra with the hammer of a header. Yeah, Greenville, good little stretch here. They went almost 9. They went 9 undefeated at one point. Obviously struggled a little bit in that Tormentor and Red Bulls game. They're trying to get back on track here. And yeah, timely goal by Jesus Sabari. Tends to do those for Greenville.
Northern Colorado head coach Ayman Zayed was very disappointed with their result because of all the chances they had created. Take a look at the starting lineups presented by Spartanburg Regional Healthcare System. For Greenville, 3 changes. Nico Brown gets his second start. Brandon Fricke is injured, so Jamie Smith will shift into center back. Peter Pearson comes on for Don Smart. Jacob Lavovitz, 11 goals. That is second in the league.
Yeah, only 1 goal in his last 5, though, for the rookie out of Virginia Tech. First spell he's had like that since being a starter.
Look to the other side, and this is where things get a little tricky. 3 players sent off last week, so a formation change for the Hailstorm. And a thin squad you can see as well, only 5 substitutes on the bench. Back 3 consisting of Arthur Rogers, Owen Dom, and Breck Evans. Those first 2 are natural fullbacks.
Yeah, we may see Wolfgang Prentice as well drop back a little more into that left back spot like he did after the red cards last weekend. There's Arthur Rogers. He's been an absolute menace. Chance creating machine on that fullback spot. Leads the league with 222 crosses as well as 59 chances created, but more of a central role tonight.
There is Ayman Zayed. Has had a really tough week trying to cobble together a lineup. He's only really made 2 changes from the starting 11 last week, a 3-1 loss to Forward Madison, but it is really a head scratcher when you are so thin on the back line. Both teams thin on center backs this week, but when you have 3 suspensions, that's just tough for a manager.
Yeah, Rod Cornwall and Leo Fowler obviously sent off last weekend. 2 of their center backs. There's John Harks,
a U.S. Soccer Hall of Famer. Really, you could say the first international superstar from this country. Made his name with Derby County and Sheffield Wednesday in the English Premier League. 1 goal of the season one year, I believe.
What a cracker it was, too. You can go check that out on the internet.
We are underway. Greenville in their greens from left to right to start this half. Northern Colorado from right to left in their whites. Just interesting to see how Northern Colorado are going to approach this game. It really is tough considering all the injuries. They've had players playing out of position. I especially look at Stefan Lukic, who's really had to come in and give them something more offensively. The first corner kick, it'll go for Northern Colorado. This corner kick presented by PNC, Corners for Kids.
Yeah, because of where the Hailstorm are in the table, you really need 3 points tonight. I think they'd be a lot more comfortable coming into this game if they only needed 1 point on the road, which is always what you're really aiming for. If you can get points on the road, those are key. And Rogers here looking for an early assist.
Right foot in swinger, it's short, looking for a flick, but cleared away. Greenville, they love to defend. They're very good at it as well. You're going to see a lot of that tonight, I imagine. Although John Hark's telling us that he wants his players to come out a little bit to start and take the game to Northern Colorado. Rogers draws the foul. He's been active early so far, so maybe not quite the middle center back that we thought he could be in this back 3. He'll stand over this free kick. Hailstorm would love to get an early goal off a set piece. Rogers can deliver them. 7 assists, as we mentioned, on the season. Comes toward the penalty spot, and a header away. Looks like off a Hailstorm. And that is confirmed. It'll be a throw-in.
Greenville are going to have to be careful on the set pieces in their own final third tonight. Rogers, a superb deliverer of set pieces. Irvin Parra can also crack them from distance.
That one just a little too far away from a shot, although I'm sure that there are some who would have been bold enough to try.
Arthur Rogers, former Wealdstone man. His team's in first place in the 5th tier of English football at the moment, which is great to see.
Another throw in for Greenville. Oh no, it's going to be Northern Colorado. I spoke too soon.
Aaron Walker looking for some help from the assistant referee, not getting it.
Our referee, Joshua Encarnacion, will man the whistle and man what should be a low-key affair in terms of physicality. Is Greenville is one of the most disciplined teams in the league. They have the fewest yellow cards conceded so far this year.
Yeah, they do. Don Smart is 1 yellow card away from a suspension. I asked John Harks if he would have any come in with a different approach because of that. He said no.
Colorado probing. Destin Norman Trying to feed that in to Stefan Lukic, could not. It'll be cleared away for a throw. As this Northern Colorado have kind of pinned Greenville in here. They don't have a single touch in the opposing half, as there's John Harkes again. 4th year in charge of the Triumph. He has not failed to reach the league playoff final. All 3 years. They won it back in 2020.
I think John Harkes, as well as there's been rumors of him going elsewhere up the soccer ladder. I really think he wants to finish with a final victory for Greenville. Obviously, 2019 got to the final, dominated North Texas, and unfortunately lost that one 1-0. Obviously, didn't get to play in 2020 last year. A disappointing loss at Omaha, where they were never really in the game.
Speaking of Omaha, they're playing the Richmond Kickers tonight. 2 versus 3 in the league. Jonathan Bolaños has already scored in the 20th minute. It's 1-0 to Richmond.
Speaking of yellow cards, Evan Parra's another one. He's only been suspended once this year for 8 yellows, and he's getting close to a 2nd suspension. So if they would lose him at some point here down the stretch, that for 2 games that would be critical. So I'm sure Evan Parra has been told by Ayman Zayed to behave himself unless he really needs to pick up a card at some point tonight.
Certainly can't afford to have anybody sent off in this match. Just the 3 substitutes who can play as outfield players tonight.
Yeah, there was some very silly yellow cards in that game last week too. Rob Como for just smashing the ball away at the last second. He almost hit a player from Madison, and obviously the kick out from Amin. Just very silly stuff.
Not a comfortable clearance from Paul Christensen. It wasn't the best ball back by Noah Frankie. Christensen will concede the throw in. One of the best goalkeepers in this league, 3rd in saves. He leads the league with 9 clean sheets. He's played in every single minute of every single match for Greenville.
He made a huge save late in that win over Tucson last weekend, did Paul Christensen.
Oh, and Dom to take the throw again after the first one came out. Trying to get as much height on it as he can into the box, looking for a flick. It goes into the middle, and it's headed away. But still Greenville struggling to get out of their own half. Nico Brown settling that one down. And Derek Waldeck forward. But it's out for another Northern Colorado throw. Waldeck, a new signing from North Texas, played the full 90 minutes in his debut last week. They didn't want to play him, but their hands was kind of forced with the injuries they've had in the back.
Yeah, I spoke to John Harkes about the addition of Waldeck because I asked him, did that come after the injury to Tyler Polak? Obviously, one of the guys with the most appearances in League One, the captain at home normally for Greenville, that left back spot. He's dealing with a knee injury, but he said they've been working on the deal for Waldeck a little bit before that injury, but what a big one it is. Obviously dealing with tons of injuries this season again. Greenville, Noah Frankie missed a chunk of time. He's back tonight after missing a couple of games with a hamstring. Dealt with that fractured, dislocated elbow that he sustained in preseason, which is a strange one for a soccer player. But yeah, both these teams a little banged up.
Irvin Parra whistled for the offside there. As saw Greenville press for really the first time on, I say all night, but we're only 6 minutes into the match.
Yeah, they press selectively here and there.
Here's Brown on his left foot to the byline. It's blocked out for a corner.
You saw Derek Waldeck there. He was sort of fell out of favor. He was the captain for North Texas and fallen out of favor over the last couple of months. I asked John Harkes if he keeps an eye on that sort of thing around the leagues, and he said yes. And Waldeck with that League One experience.
Corners for kids taken by your Greenville
Stanford.
Triumph.
It's the first PNC Corners for Kids corner kick of the match for Greenville. We'll try to get the home fans revved up a little bit. Got 2 players standing over. Lucas Casino with the right foot. I imagine it's going to be him. Listed as a right midfielder, but we're going to see him all over the attacking third. He likes to drift into space. Here it comes. It's high. It's to the back post, and it's headed up, not out. But on the follow through, Colorado able to clear. There's Breck Evans on the final clearance.
With no Brandon Fricky tonight, that's one big target Greenville missing in the air on these set pieces. Dealing with a hip injury. He's questionable coming in. We thought we might see him on the bench, but it wasn't to be. So certainly a big target there. They're missing. Jamie Smith's physical, but not quite as tall as Brandon Fricky.
Jacob Lavovitz to take this long throw, and that's not something you see in most setups. If you're leading scorers on the field, you don't want him taking the throw-ins in these situations, but he does, and a flick on, but it's cleared away. Not all the way out as Greenville recovering possession. Giveaway taken over by Norte Norte. He's going to be very important in the midfield for Colorado, wearing the 8. Ball spread down the right wing, looking for Jerry Deju, and he's got it under control. Para making a run. Deju still holding on to it. Lukic showing short. And he'll use him as the Hailstorm are happy to have possession here.
Good pressure there by Derek Waldeck. Noah Frankie, we'll certainly see him get forward on that right wing tonight. Not to charge down those fullback slots when he was with Tucson, because he dealt with the injury earlier this season. It's the first 17 games. Going to start it right back, but Schultz came in and did a great job while Frankie was out. But now he's out with a back injury. They just keep racking up. And of course, no Benton Evans tonight for John Harkes either. He's away on with Jamaica on international duty.
Lukic, a great run and a strike, and the first save for Christensen. What a run. That was Wolfgang Prentice coming forward, forcing an early save. Well, that came out of nothing, really.
Oh, too much space left there. What a ball that was. Prentice looked to be offside. He must have just kept it on the back shoulder of Noah Frankie and forced a great save from Paul Christensen.
Corner for Northern Colorado.
So another corner kick for Northern Colorado, presented by PNC Corners for Kids. And the Hailstorm get on the board first. Rogers will take. Right-footed short to Lukic. Tries to leave it for Rogers, does find him, but the cross is blocked. There'll be another corner. Celebrating its 75th anniversary, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL League One. Choose what you play with at www.selectsportamerica.com. Select, League's choice, player's choice.
Arthur Rogers is feeling the collision. Gingerly making his way over here.
That's not what they want to see on the Northern Colorado bench. He has to play this full match, you have to think, given the lack of options they have on the bench. And no defenders listed. You think that Jackson Dietrich could shift back there and play on the back line, but it's not ideal.
No, it's the same at Greenville. They're down to an academy kid for defenders on the bench as well. Bigger, Jonah Bigger.
Rogers okay, able to take. It comes to Norty. He got a shot away. It was blocked out for another corner.
For the Hailstorm.
Well, that one dropped right onto the right foot of Norty. And didn't look like he had the cleanest connection, but it did take a flick on its way out.
Norty with a couple of goals this season, former Chelsea youth man. He's more of a defensive midfield role. Normally for him inside. We'll see if we see him push forward a little bit more tonight.
Another corner from Rogers, this time Jamie Smith getting his head to it. Prentice will keep it alive. Wanted Rogers, didn't find him. And now Greenville can break, but it's blocked away. Good read by Owen Dom. He's got the ball here. We'll leave it down the right side. Cross comes in and going nowhere in the end.
Open up Twitter.
It'll be a goal kick for Greenville. They can relieve some pressure.
Promising start for the visitors.
Voting will end at the 35th minute of the first half.
Certainly didn't expect this.
During halftime from
we
your
said
favorite DJ
first goal will be key
Shea.
for them, right? Greenville aren't the greatest at coming from behind, especially with the short numbers for Noka. If they can find that first goal and then just sit back a little bit, force Greenville to come out of their shape, that could open up some more chances later in the game.
There's a through ball over the top, and he's found Levovic. Keeps it alive for Ibarra. Jesus Ibarra doesn't have help at the moment. Trapped by two. Recycles it for Frankie. Good 1-2, back to Ibarra. On the right foot, a good ball into the back post, and Dom had to be careful to head that away. Norty will clear this long, and the first decent half chance for Greenville. That was a great ball whipped in.
And we weren't sure where we were going to see Ibarra. He can play both out on the wing as well as the 10 role. Coutinho will also play both of those roles. Looks like Jesus Ibarra going to be out wide, with Coutinho playing where he has been playing most of late, just behind Jacob Levovic.
Danny Robles keeping that ball alive, and then Prentice wins his side to throw. So Frankie arguing his case. I feel like I'm getting whiplash. I've seen Owen Dom on the right and the left as we get a look at our Wilson and Engelbert attorneys at law personal injury report. It's a lengthy one for both sides.
Yeah, for Greenville, the key ones there, Fricke and Polak, they've been so consistent in that back four for most of the season, but two big losses there. Fileman out for the year. Ulisi out for the year on the visitors' side of things.
Scally as well, and McFall.
Yeah, Scally and McFall. I asked Eamon Zai, those are two guys that were two of the bigger earlier signings for him. He said expected Daniel Scally to be a consistent starter for him. Shane McFall at his age, perhaps a little more off the bench, but yeah, 2 big losses there, and missed most of the season, unfortunately, here and there with niggling injuries.
Northern Colorado also, we'll get back to this point in a second, as Greenville sprung the ball free, but the chance is gone. Deju can escape. They've also signed Marcus Barnes from Oldham Athletic, but they're still waiting on visa issues to be resolved, so he's not available today, are the Hailstorm. So here's Prentice, Wolfgang Prentice for Para, but it's off his foot, trying to return it. Greenville will try to escape again.
Well, those of you who've been following the Hailstorm all season, you remember they had massive visa issues earlier in the season. Half their squad wasn't eligible to play in the first game or two.
All given away by Pearson to Dom. Tried a 1-2 with Para. That didn't work. A couple of times, Irvin Para's just looked to link up right away. He hasn't wanted to hold on to the ball.
He's been up top with Lachlan McLean, former Triumph man of late. With McLean on the bench tonight, Lukic getting the chance. So, as you can see, Para now talking to his strike partner Lukic, just playing a little bit more behind him.
Seen him pop up on the right and pop up on the left as well. Para playing very much down the center. He's more of your traditional hold-up, link-up play, but just very interesting to see him not want to hold on to the ball. As we'll take a look at the keys to the game presented by Harper General Contractors. We've teased them a little bit, but for Greenville, take the game to him. That's what John Harks told us.
Yeah, so he told us, and he came out with a bit of a weird lineup. No Gavalanis, no Don Smart. A bit of a defensive lineup. We'll see if things change as the game goes on, but we mentioned the first goal, how huge that would be for visiting Northern Colorado in their attempt to sneak into the playoffs.
And to tell you why it's so important in this match, Greenville have only rescued 1 point all season from a losing position. They don't go behind often, but when they do, they're almost assured to give up not just a point on a draw, but 3 points in a loss. So very important for Northern Colorado.
No, and as you mentioned earlier, they've struggled to score multiple games, 4 straight home games without multiple goals. And if you go down 1, you're going to need 2 to win it.
Well, they have scored in their last 4 matches, but just the 1 each time. And they had a 0-0 draw with Union Omaha. A good ball down the left for Nico Brown on his left foot. Good ball towards the penalty box, spot, excuse me, but Evans with the clear. Really good work by Deju to keep this in. Lukic wants it. Hara right next to him. And Northern Colorado on the break. Wolfgang Prentice. Hara making a run to the left. Prentice doesn't use him, now he will. Got Dom coming in support. Cross all the way looking for Deju, just a little bit too high. If maybe Deju had 1 or 2 inches on him, he might have been able to keep that one in play. Another promising looking break for Northern Colorado, though.
No, they found some space in this final third. It's going to happen with the changes that Greenville's had at the back. I mean, Derek Waldeck, an experienced player, but obviously hasn't played with anybody else more than the last game on this Greenville back line. You've got changes at center back. You've got Frankie been in and out of the lineup. You want that consistency on the back line. John Hark's not concerned, though. I asked him how big those 2 last 1-0 wins were, especially coming off those 2 heavy losses. I asked him if they were the 2 biggest wins of the season, and he racked off about 5 wins that he thought were bigger. It just meant his back-to-back wins coming off those 2 disappointing results, especially at this point in the season. And the importance, we mentioned the importance of getting that #1 spot and the bye in the first round and home field advantage throughout.
John Harks doesn't like this call on Nico Brown. He fouls Norte. Getting a talking from Encarnacion, but no card shown, so it'll just be a warning. Well, you look on the other side for Northern Colorado, as Ayman Zayed told us they're happy with the way the chances they've created. We get another look at that collision. A little heavy from Brown for sure. But the chances they've created, it's been good. It's been what they want, but they haven't taken them. And you can look at last week against Tucson, or last midweek, so 2 matches ago against Tucson. They had 34 crosses in that match, but only 10 of them were successful.
Yeah, Greenville have had their moments this season. They've certainly created more shots this year than ever before, but they've had games where they haven't put away the early chances, especially, and other teams have made them pay. Haven't had a golden chance yet tonight, but here's another dangerous set piece for that man, Rogers.
Rogers will stand over this. The London, England native has played almost every minute of this season. Only been subbed off 3 times this season, and one of those was for a curtain call in which he had a goal and assist against Tormenta back at the beginning of August. It's been very important.
He's going to try and put this one in an area that makes poor Christensen make a decision.
Irvin Para the closest to him. Here's the cross, and Christensen just had to let that one fall right to him. one of the easiest saves he'll make all night.
Yeah, bounced comfortably for him. Didn't have quite the pace or the direction to really cause too much trouble in that Greenville box.
Coutinho. Greenville want to break quickly. Peter Pearson, that's Nico Brown, excuse me. Now Frankie into the box, a good header, but easy, comfortable save in the end for Johan Peñaranda. The first leaping chance from Jacob Lavovitz.
Peñaranda's been solid since taking over for Thomas Olsen. Let's now look at this one on the 11-11 systems replay. Good header by Lavovitz. Ways out though, Peñaranda. It was going to take a special header to beat him from there.
Didn't quite put that into the corner, but from that far out, that's a difficult header to score. Greenville maybe starting to find their game going forward. They haven't had a whole lot of possession in the opposing half, but they're starting to ramp that up. Ball poked free for Lavovitz. Flag goes up though, and it was called immediately by Breck Evans. Ball kind of poked free for Lavovitz, so you can't really fault him for just being a touch offside there.
There's one thing he's really worked on this season, Lavovitz. First few appearances he had, he was offside a little too often from John Hartstein. He was talking to him about timing his runs and getting their ball earlier. And then obviously he went on that huge scoring run.
Robles forward, trying to put it in the channel for Prentice, didn't quite get there, and it goes out of play. We'll wait for the goal kick to be confirmed. There it is.
Wolfgang Prentice disagreeing with the decision.
And there are a couple of arms raised, maybe for a high boot there as well, so perhaps he doesn't have as strong an argument as he thinks. So the left back, left midfielder, left wing back, whatever you want to call him, on loan from the Oakland Roots. He's wrapping up his first month with his new club, at least for the rest of the season. Had an assist against Tucson a couple of games ago. The last 3 matches, he's played the full 90 every single time.
And his eye has been very impressed with him. He was raving about him on our conference call.
Bit of a weird sequence in the middle there that Breck Evans eventually won out for, and then Norty fouled by Coutinho, and you hear the groans from the fans here in Greenville. Maybe a little frustration with their side not possessing the ball as much, although they really should be used to it by now.
Yeah, not a team that thrives on possession. They dominated in that department against Tucson. John Harkes likes to have the ball. They're not the most accurate passing team in the world, and they do give it away. Not too much for his liking on occasion.
Has woken the crowd up. Deju, nice move, gets to the byline, cross a little too close to Christensen, who comes to collect. He wants to spring one really quickly. 18 long passes successful per match. I was shocked by that statistic in prepping for this match, as a heavy collision will lead to a Greenville free kick. More grumbling, Danny Robles pleading his innocence, and Pearson left in a heap. It would be a shame if Peter Pearson were to be forced out of this match at any point. He was an unused sub the last time these two teams faced off. St. Lucia International from Virginia Beach. Take another look. Robles, nothing in that for sure, but he does hit him. He does collide with him, but they're both looking at the ball, so nothing nefarious.
Some goals elsewhere in League One. Chattanooga with an early lead at Charlotte. Tahara with the goal there. And North Carolina with a 1-0 lead over Tucson. Showcat Tahir with the goal for North Carolina FC as they try to salvage something here at the end of the season and perhaps make a late run for a playoff spot. Still 1-0 kickers as they approach the half there at City Stadium.
Ambitious try from Waldeck. I think that might be just the second shot attempt of the match for Greenville. Unless they didn't credit earlier Lavovitz, he had that header that was a comfortable save for Peñaranda. Here's Deju on the right side. Wants to drive at Waldeck, takes him to the outside. Waldeck brilliantly done defending and prevents the corner. Pretty much exactly what you want out of a left back.
And sloppy from Evan Lee.
Here's Deju keeping this one alive. Lays it back. There's Para. He's way outside of the box. And Norty. And Norman. And Norty again. Deju just waiting. And a throw-in eventually conceded by Greenville. That's another instance where Irvin Parra has found himself coming short to link up rather than waiting for a ball in.
He's not really a traditional center forward. He's more of a 10 guy, but he certainly knows how to find himself space in that final third, and he'll kill you if you do give him that space.
Made that run on that occasion, but the ball from Lukic just didn't quite find him. But Northern Colorado with possession once again. A lot of touches early on for Arthur Rogers and Breck Evans, who we thought were going to be in a back three. It's looking a lot more like a back two as this match continues on. And we had Owen Dom slated to maybe play on the right side of that back three, but he's actually shifted into the left back role to allow Prentice to push forward a little bit more.
The lineup card they gave us was very confusing. It had 3-4-3 on the graphic, but then 4-5-1 listed in the lineup roster. So we were all a little confused, and we could certainly have seen it go either way.
And I want to be very clear. We understand, given the crazy week that Northern Colorado have had to prepare for this. Robles, nice ball through for Prentice. He's onside on his left foot, and he's dragged that wide. Maybe Christensen had something to do with that coming off his line, but Prentice just nowhere near the target in the end.
Yeah, he's listed as a forward. He's played some forward, midfield mostly, and then dropped back to fullback, as you mentioned, with those red cards last week. Those looked very impressive coming forward. He could already have 2 goals in this game, only 24 minutes in.
Forced the save out of Christensen early, and another brilliant run on his left foot. Maybe he should have thought towards that near post. There was a lot of space, and it looked like maybe he rushed it.
He was trying to be a little too cute. He should have perhaps just powered that one inside Christensen's near post.
Here's Coutinho popping up in the middle, trying to play Nico Brown through. Don closing, brilliantly done. He'll clear out. He has looked bright in this Northern Colorado defense, mopping up a few situations. Owen Dom taking care of that Nico Brown run. Listed as the left midfielder. We've seen him on the left midfield, but that was the right midfielder linking up through the middle for the left midfield.
Yeah, this is just a complete makeshift lineup tonight. Destin normally more of a midfielder. Playing right back this evening. He's got 1 red card to his name this season.
Triumph slowing the game down. What they like to do is a long ball in from Lebovitz. It's headed away by Rogers. And they'll come back into the fray. Collision, Dom taking down his man Brown. Nothing given, and no real shouts on the pitch.
No, that's what I was looking for too, Kevin.
But Greenville still pressing. Coutinho avoids the tackle of Robles, keeps the ball moving, and he has help. Aaron Walker spreading wide. Held in, nicely done by Brown. Try to get there again, but Prentice back in support. And Dom can clear. Best spell so far for Greenville.
Trying to keep that consistent pressure in that possession inside the final third, trying to unlock that defense, perhaps with the ball around the back for Labovitz.
Mentioned early here at Legacy Early College, Greenville top of the league, Northern Colorado in 9th. And there really has to be some urgency for them. They've played more matches than the 3 teams they're chasing ahead of them. So they really need to find a way to get a result here tonight. Good step up by Breck Evans to clear, and he shouts at his team to get the line moving. Maybe here's a chance. Headed back for Parra, gets a shot away, saved by Christensen. And that was quick thinking by Steven Lukic.
Yeah, some of these chances looked a little too easy. Not something you normally see against a Greenville defense. Parra finding tons of space. Prentice and forcing Christensen into some early work. Good strike on the volley here. Not too far away from Christensen. That was spinning.
Remarkable when you look at that pass. You didn't see how it got there. That was a header. All the distance it traveled, it was perfectly accurate. Really well done by Stefan Lukic.
Yeah, some warning signs for sure that Loco are going to get plenty of scoring chances in this one. You mentioned only 6 games remaining for them after this. 4 of them at home, though. They do play Greenville again out in Colorado in September. They also host Omaha. And they will play the bottom teams once each, so chances for NOCO to forge their way up the table late here in the last 6 weeks or so.
It's certainly in their hands, but they have to take it, and that's been the problem all season. And we've already seen it in this match. They've had, you could argue, 3 really good chances to get that early goal, and they just didn't take it.
And that was the biggest thing Eamon Zayed said, was they weren't taking any chances.
There's Coutinho. Doesn't have room for a shot. Wants to look wide. Cut to the other side. Now Pearson spreads it. Frankie for Brown. Prentice closing him down. Brown just wants to keep it in play. He doesn't, and it's a Northern Colorado throw. Lucas Coutinho found himself in a good spot after the quick pass by Labovitz, but just didn't have any room to shoot because the Hailstorm, they've got their back three, back four, whatever you want to call it, they've got them really working tonight.
Greenville, not a team that particularly threatens from distance, but Coutinho is certainly one of the ones that can strike it from outside the box. And we saw how Colorado closed him down super quick.
You saw at the top of the broadcast the winner from last week from Aaron Walker. It was the dummy by Lucas Coutinho that really made it happen. John Harks mentioned it in our conversation. It really pops out at you when you watch the replay.
Yeah, I didn't see it at first. When he mentioned it, I was like, oh, that was smart. And then Walker kind of let it run across him and finish well.
Waldeck.
Third goal of the season for Aaron Walker.
Has captained his side plenty of times this season, 8 games heading into tonight. So cross is easily swallowed up by Peñaranda. Had a bit of an odyssey. Walker has, the Woodstock, Georgia native. Played for the Atlanta Silverbacks at his previous club, and he also spent 3 years in the Pepsi Delid Karla, that's the first division in Iceland. Played for Vesti Isafjordur, formerly known as Bolungarvik. And
good work, Kevin.
I did, in fact, call my Avi, my grandpa, for those pronunciations.
You got the heritage.
He's actually headed there in a couple of days to go visit family for a month. Prentice trying to knock this ball down, didn't quite bring it under control. Jamie Smith mopping up. But once again, Prentice breaking the lines.
Prentice continues to impress.
Stumble, but Frankie able to recover. And now Pearson. They'll look to come out. A high press put on by Northern Colorado, at least in terms of shape. They had 5 players in the opposing half on that occasion. Actually 6. But Greenville find a way through. Labovitz spreading wide. Here's Brown. Wants to drive at Dom. Dom holding him up. Brown cuts on his right foot, and Dom able to get his foot in the way to block the cross.
You see Nico Brown coming over from that left side. John Harks loves to flip-flop his wingers probably halfway through the first half. Give both fullbacks a different look. Good work, though, to match with by Dom.
There'll be another PNC Corners for Kids corner kick for Greenville. Haven't really had a ton of chances. Haven't really had a lot of bright spots in this match, but once again, they are so efficient with their taking their chances, and when they get a lead, they can shut things down in a heartbeat. Waldeck will take it short. Coutinho will drive towards the box, leaves it. Frankie to the back post. Good-looking ball, and it's over the bar from Labovitz. The flag, I think, went up on him, so it wouldn't have counted.
And the ball from Frankie just needed a little more pace and less of loop on it. The loop allowed the Hailstorm players to get in the vicinity. Labovitz was offside anyway.
Well-worked routine, though. Coutinho laying that back to Frankie. To his credit, Labovitz does get his head onto it. Just didn't quite time the jump correctly. And again, it wouldn't have mattered. Right start for the visitors, Northern Colorado. Although you have to say, you can't think that the Hailstorm are delighted by this because, again, this is right where Greenville wants it.
Yeah, I think Greenville, again, they not to create some more chances. Only the one shot on target so far in the first 31 minutes. That one particularly pleased John Harks. They've been a fast-starting team for most of this season. They just haven't put those early chances away.
Heavy touch from Lukic, and Frankie able to take over. Had 3 players making runs down the right-hand side. But Lukic went to his left instead. These two teams do score goals in the first half often. Both have 16 first-half goals on the season. And for Greenville, it's actually, I think, just about half their total goal total.
Halftime in Richmond, a little delayed there. We had a long break for an injury, that nasty injury apparently to Alex Touche. Hopefully he's okay. Had to get stretchered off. So 1-0 there at the break in favor of Richmond, chasing Greenville. They could be in first place tonight.
Depending on how this match goes, as Greenville will get another PNC Corners for Kids. Again, they take it short. Coutinho walled off. He has to go back. Barra on his right foot for the back post again. This time Piñaranda was interested and he got his hand to it. It'll go out all the way for a throw. No, it doesn't. Where did that speed come from Jerry Deju? He
It's
kept
also
that alive.
sloppy from Jamie Smith. He shouldn't let him get around him that easily.
Good ball in Waldeck, comes to Lavovitz, makes a nice cut on his right foot, and once again, guess who? Owen Dom with a great tackle.
He's never afraid to pinch in from his fullback spot, Owen Dom. He did it a ton last week, even when they went down a man or two or three. Owen Dom is not afraid to come in and help his center backs, and did a great job there. Lavovitz with a lovely move.
It's a good run by Para, but Lukic was offside. As we get a look at this 11-11 systems replay, the punch by Piñaranda, if you want to call it a punch.
Yeah, he seemed to misjudge it a little bit.
Lavovitz, great tackle by Owen Don. You might look back at that. If Northern Colorado take a point or three from this match, you're going to look back to that moment.
Yeah, he turned Irvin Parr inside out. Don was there to save the day.
Waldeck as Greenville starting to hit their stride. Brown on the left foot, good cross, and in the way that time was Breck Evans. Ball still alive. Rogers is taken down by Brown, and that'll relieve pressure. Greenville starting to show a little more brightness, encouragement in terms of their attacking. They are now driving at the Hailstorm at every opportunity.
Yeah, listen, Alan Gavilanes a little so far tonight. Nico Brown's been impressive, though, in the one-on-one battles. That's where Gavilanes can really excel. You've seen him beat so many guys to the dead ball line and get quality crosses in. I'm sure we'll see him at some point this evening, depending how this game flow goes.
Just 24 years old, Nico Brown. Played for Jamaica at the under-17 level. Went to Loyola, Maryland in the NCAA. Good flick on from Lukic, and he's found Norte in stride. Does he keep it? Yes, he does on his right foot. Norte around the goalkeeper. Oh, but he lost it at the end and out for a goal kick. A disappointing end to a really promising run from Norte.
Christensen did well to force him wide, and that allowed his defenders to scoot back. See it here, Frankie with some pressure. Norte just a slightly heavy touch, and then the last touch let him down, but it's a heavy touch. Christensen, I think, forced that out of him. And it helped his defenders get back. I don't think Norte had much option.
Norman taken down, free kick for the Hailstorm, but that's twice now we've seen Christensen force a mistake or a shot wide out of a really promising chance for Northern Colorado.
He certainly played a big part in keeping this game 0-0.
Lucas Coutinho not happy with the decision. But it's not going to go Greenville's way. That's, I think, the third foul conceded by Nico Brown in this match. He'll have to be careful. Of course, we might see later on, as you mentioned, Gavilanes, so maybe not so careful.
John Mark's not afraid to make changes at the break.
And Walker nicely done to keep that alive. Haven't really called his name all that much so far. Hasn't been on the ball a whole lot. Christensen will clear away. The Hailstorm press again. And Norman got that down for Norte. All over Norte is Walker, and finally the whistle blows. Waiting forever for that decision to come. Lukic holding up the ball again. Nice flick for Robles. And he'll get on his horse, and he'll spread wide for Prentice. Excuse me, that's Dom. Oh, and Dom tried to cut to his left. A good tackle in the end by Waldeck. Now Robles. Lukic tried to scoop. That was Frankie, not Waldeck. My apologies. And Lukic clattered into. That's a free kick. Coutinho will hold his stomach, but he's the offender in this occasion. And another dangerous set-piece opportunity, maybe their best so far for Hailstorm.
Just a very silly way to give up a foul on a very dangerous spot on the pitch. Now look at here in the 11-11 systems replay. I mean, Lukic was just going to bring it down. Pearson was there to help. Coutinho just clattered into the back of Lukic. Let's see what happens here. It's a little central. It could lead itself to a shot, though. Parr wants a piece of this.
Lukic is a big boy as well, standing at 6'1". Coutinho losing 4 inches in that battle, and plenty of weight as well, the way Lukic is built.
Lukic was a guy that him and Zai was super high on coming into this year. Said he'd be surprised if he's not playing in the MLS. Still high on him. He's had sporadic starts here and there. Hasn't quite lived up to expectations.
This is just his third start in his last 8 appearances. This may be a first chance for Irvin Parr to really put his foot into one. Right-footed shot right into the wall. Pretty much the worst spot you want to put it. But Prentice will keep it alive. He'll play it toward the back post. Dom gets a header to it. It's down from Lukic. Didn't have a shot. And eventually Greenville able to clear. Maybe they can start an attack of their own. Good ball forward by Lebovitz. It finds Ibarra. And what a run by Lebovitz down the right. Ibarra doesn't use him. Instead for Coutinho. 1-2. Trying to keep the ball alive. Goes down and a free kick conceded. Well, Jacob Lebovitz is going to have some words for Ibarra, I'm sure. That was a streaking run down the right side. But it does eventually lead to this free kick.
See, everybody from Greenville wants this free kick. It's on the perfect side for the right-footed kicker. Let's take another look at it here. In the 11-11 systems replay. Yep. If he had just slipped it through between the defenders there, Lebovitz would have been wide open.
And you're not going to see too many runs as good as that in this match, probably all night across all the matches. Streaking down the right, just came out of nowhere and was already past the back line. But no angle perhaps for Ibarra. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Greenville, those that watched them over the years, not known for their set-piece prowess. They haven't really scored too many goals in their history from free kicks. See, Walker and Coutinho are certainly the favorites here.
Looks like it's going to be a flick for Coutinho. That'd be what I would put my money on. Perhaps not. 5 in the wall for Northern Colorado. Whistle is gone. They can take when they like. It'll be Walker. He'll take it, and it's headed down by the wall. Coutinho on the second chance. That's blocked away. Walker a third try, and it's off of Arthur Rogers out for a corner.
PNC Corners for Kids, taken by your Greenville Triumph.
Staying on the Ibarra theme, Miguel Ibarra equalizing for Charlotte late in the first half there against Chattanooga. Would be a big 3 points for the Independents if they can somehow find it.
Coutinho standing over this PNC Corners for Kids. Ball deck in there as well. Looks like it's going to be Coutinho with his right-footed in-swinger. We're across the 40th minute here in Greenville. No goals. Coutinho takes. It's to the back post. It's flat, and it's headed wide by Jamie Smith. Right into the Anderson University sign. Well, don't miss a minute of action in 2022. Whether your club is on the road or at home, catch nearly every second of USL League One action on ESPN+, the home to the USL, MLS, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. So as we head into the final moments of this half, who is the more pleased manager?
That's a good question, Kevin. I certainly think with his situation, squad-wise, I think Eamon Zayed has to be the happier manager here so far tonight. Young on the road, going into the half against the league leaders on the road. I think he'll certainly take the point where he thinks he needs 3. But for the last 6 at home, I think he would take the point if he was being honest here in this one.
Well, and unlike his counterpart, just because of the thin squad they have, they can't go for it in the second half like John Harkes could if he chooses to.
You mentioned Smart, Gavilanes, obviously Jake Keegan dealing with some injury issues over the last month or so, back healthy now. Could be an option in the second half off the bench for sure.
Dom misplays a ball. Jamie Smith whacks it away.
I don't think John Harkes will be disappointed though. He'd be disappointed perhaps only having 1 shot on target. Not really forcing Johan Pena under in a whole lot of action.
He's really only touched the ball twice, I believe, other than the goal kicks. It's the paw away on the short corner, and then
the lame header from Lebovitz, or Tame, I should say. No, that was the word I was looking for.
I think for my money, Owen Dom, the unsung hero, or maybe just the player of the match so far. His important interventions defensively.
These key loanees brought in by Eamon Zayed. Greenville, not a team that was relied on loanees over their team history. One of the interesting things about League One is how these teams build their roster.
Dom chasing this one down. He pokes it away from Ibarra, but a throw for Greenville in a dangerous spot. And really, the last 15 minutes, it's been all Triumph in terms of possessing the ball in the attacking third. Not sure Northern Colorado has really had a touch or two in the attacking third in the last 10 minutes, not since that free kick opportunity.
talked to Eamon Zayed about how, if he would have done anything differently when it came to building his team this year. I'm not going to get into too many details of what he said. He did say perhaps bringing in a few more League One guys, which is surprising because he's a guy that played 2 seasons himself, so he should know what it takes.
Long throw, good flick by Smith, and it had to be parried away by Breck Evans. Heroic defending by this trio, Rogers, Evans, and Dom. Destin Norman as well on the right side, but it's been those 3 with really important blocks. The possession was way up for the Hailstorm early on in this match, but Greenville have made it all the way even. All deck, Coutinho, will probably be another short corner. Some PNC corners for kids. It's not. Waldeck plays it to the back post, and it's cleared away after a bit of hesitancy by Wolfgang Prentice. Didn't quite know where that ball was going to fall. Ibarra away from Norty. Nicely done, but runs into Norman. It's another throw for Greenville. Approaching the end of this first half. Can the Triumph find a goal to take into halftime? Certainly would be a dream for them after defending for quite a while to start this match, slowly building up, and then to get a last gasp first half goal. That would be something. Lavovitz, long throw again. First 2 by Norman. It's popped up in the air though, not where he wanted it. Norte able to clear away. Everybody behind the ball for the Hailstorm. Hara and Lukic were in their own box when that clearance was made, so the Triumph will hold on to this ball. Christensen, line drive, flicked on, but nobody running. It's ambitious. Lavovitz, a good idea. Peñaranda. We'll see how much added time is afforded. Could possibly be 0. Haven't been a whole lot of stoppages.
Yeah, I think John Harkes will be mostly disappointed about not being able to put pressure on this makeshift back line of the Hailstorm. They've certainly impressed in this first 45 minutes, but Lavovitz has been relatively quiet, nothing else much from behind him either.
So no engineered sleep stoppage time in this first half, as things are scoreless at the break with these 2 sides. Some chances for both sides as well. There's been a couple of key moments in the match defensively. Paul Christensen has had to come up big, but in the end, not a whole lot to write home about.
No, plenty to play for in the second half for sure. We'll see which team goes to the bench first. Likely Greenville, considering the Hailstorm situation.
Goalless at the break. We'll be back with highlights, stats, and more on the other side.
Is that a meatball? What the? Oh yeah, it's meatball time.
Limoncello, the official pasta and proud sponsor of the Greenville Triumph.
The unstoppable spirit lives inside all of us. For Matt and Lisa Kuhn, it's fueled by family, with a business backed by an unbreakable bond and a passion to innovate. They've become leaders in last-mile transportation. That's why First Horizon is proud to celebrate unstoppable spirits like Matt and Lisa. From the first stop to the final destination, we use our understanding to keep our clients on their unique path to success.
When you donate blood with the Blood Connection, you're helping to save lives right here in your community. Donate blood with the Blood Connection, your community blood center.
This is no sleepy-headed, moving in reverse kind of state. We're home to barrier-breaking humans who took $7 billion and invested it in microchips, potato chips, nope, education. This investment It builds jobs and more jobs where people create things like flying, not that. Who does all this? Forward-thinking pilgrims of change, like you. South Carolina. Now that's smart.
Welcome to the Oxford Barber Company halftime show. Well, last Saturday night was a real wacky one in the USL League One. Let's take a look at the highlights with Ryan Rose.
A wild last Saturday starts in Chattanooga. 7 unbeaten for Chattanooga hosting Tormenta, but the Ibises get on the board first. Kingsford Agi in the 8th minute, his 5th of the season. That's 1-0 Tormenta. In stoppage time, O Espinoza free kick spilled by TJ Bush, collected by Galindrez, his 10th. It's 1-1 at the half. He plays the G-chord there for Galindrez. 80th minute, Ortiz crosses to Devin Benton, who chests it down. Dengler deflects out by Kraft. Now Jimmy Villalobos, that's the game winner. 4th of the season for him. Chattanooga 5-0-3 in their last 8. They're the 4th team to 30 points. Tormenta's lost 3 in a row. Omaha hosting North Carolina. Club record 11th unbeaten is what they're looking for. And here's Kevin Piedrahita. Boom, boom, and in. 2 bounces and in. The first goalkeeper goal we've had in League One history. 5 minutes later, Piedrahita is at it again. He's going to send it deep. This time North Carolina gets under it. Britton Fisher stops it, but right to Corey Hertzog, who now has 89 professional goals. You cannot leave him that wide open. Corey Hertzog 2-0. 11 minutes later, Ryan Jiba gets in the act. If I just send it downfield, maybe I'll get an assist. Well, he does. There's Noe Meza. Chipping the keeper, Nicholas Holiday, 3-0 inside of 20 minutes. Bit of foul here. Nelson Blanco then kicks the ball. Brito was clipped, and that's a red card, so down to 10 men. 58th minute, Brito sends the corner, far post to Alex Touche, who heads it over to Meza. 2 goals for Meza. It is now 4-0. That's 8 this season for Meza. 10 minutes later, Fisher loses possession, tackles Meza, kicks it away, so he's going to get a yellow for the tackle. And then kicking it away, that's another yellow, double yellow, that's a red. So now down to 9 men. 90+1 sub, 16-year-old sub Nicholas Rincon works it to the end line, gets it to McLaughlin for a goal off his toe. That's the first time a 9-man side has scored a goal in League One history, but that's just a historical footnote. 4-1 the final. Omaha club record 11 unbeaten. We go to Northern Colorado hosting Madison. 1 loss in the last 7 for Madison. Irvin Parra already with a PK here, so here's Derek Gebhardt. Squirts it past Peñaranda to level the match at 1. 38th minute, Andrew Williams taken out by Leofola on a break. That's a red card, down to 10. 1-1 at the half. Cassini now crosses to Cyrus Rod, who heads it back to Jeremiah Strang. 2-1 Madison. 82nd minute, Cassini again. Watch this touch. Right there. Strang keeps it alive and then beats Peñaranda. It is 3-1. Hailstorm got 2 more red cards and finished with 8 men. That's the first time that's happened in League One history. We go to the desert. Greenville in the top spot by 1 point. We go to the top of the second half for scoreless. Here's Gavilanes through the dummy and Catino right to Aaron Walker. Makes a move, and there's the goal. 3rd of the season for Aaron Walker. 1st since mid-May. Greenville stays on top, gets a little distance. 1-0 the final. Final match of the night, Central Valley versus Richmond. 24th minute, Victor Falk. His 3rd goal against Richmond. He has 5 goals, 3 against his old team. Throw in here through Christian Cheney, over to Maxie Schenfeld, and Central Valley's up 2-0. That's all they got to do. They only have 2 home wins, looking for a 3rd. But the smoke is just getting going on that goal, and then a couple minutes after that, Terzaghi taken down in the box. That's a PK, so through the smoke that is wafted across the field, the 12th goal of the season comes for Terzaghi. He gets the PK. 90+3, Owain Gordon to Matt Bentley off his toe to level the match. 2-2 draw out of nothing, 6th of the season for Matt Bentley. Scoreless draw Wednesday night. We'll have more halftime coming up. I'm on that routine. I'm on that routine.
improbable. It's indomitable. And Sacramento Republic are off to the final. Jamaican Malik Foster. The Panenka, absolutely disgusting, plenty of times. Saved by Viniello! Rodrigo Lopez. It's improbable! It's indomitable! It's another cup set!
What a sensational story Sacramento Republic FC have been. They are headed to the U.S. Open Cup final, the first lower division club to do that since 2008. If they were to win and beat Orlando City on September 7th, they would be the first lower division champions this entire century.
Yeah, it seems like that semi-final was so long ago, but I hope everybody in the USL world gets onto their TVs and watches Sacramento Republic in that game.
Let's give a nod to Kevin Pietrajeda, goalkeeper for Union Omaha, the first ever to get goal and save of the week. In addition to being into the team of the week in the USL League One, he scored the first ever keeper goal for Union Omaha last week. And then we've got some big news. Rhode Island is coming to the USL Championship in 2024 as we get a look at the rendering for their stadium. Doesn't that look gorgeous?
Beautiful. I love a waterside stadium, Kevin, and that looks awesome. I love the way the big stand looks out into the river as well.
What a sight that would be to walk across that bridge as we get a look at the team of the week, led by Noe Meza, the player of the week. There's Greenville's own Aaron Walker in the middle.
Yeah, you could do with another goal in the second half for a winner, and find himself in team of the week again, perhaps.
You can see every team of the week every Monday at USLLeague1.com. A couple of scores at the break. North Carolina FC 1-0 over FC Tucson. The Independence and Chattanooga tied up at 1-1. The Richmond Kickers, they're into the second half, still 1-0 over Union Omaha. That would be a big result. And the midweek game coming up on Wednesday for Madison FC hosting North Carolina.
Yeah, every team scrambling for 3 points here as we come down the stretch.
One more game tonight, Central Valley Fuego FC against South Georgia Tormenta FC at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, obviously, on ESPN+. And then a triple header on Wednesday, that aforementioned Union Omaha for Madison match, Central Valley Fuego against Tucson, and the Independence against Tormenta. Highlights and stats are next. Stay with us.
At Stretch Zone, their certified practitioners perform each stretch, which isolates and stabilizes those muscles. They do all the work, you get all the benefit. Whether you're looking for increased performance or greater mobility, Stretch Zone can help you realize your goals with their stretching sessions.
I've really found a difference in the flexibility in my knees and my walking pace and whatnot, so I'm very pleased with the progress in 2 weeks.
Come experience the difference today. Stretch Zone, Greenville and Clemson.
The unstoppable spirit lives inside all of us. For Matt and Lisa Kuhn, it's fueled by family, with a business backed by an unbreakable bond and a passion to innovate. They've become leaders in last-mile transportation. That's why First Horizon is proud to celebrate unstoppable spirits like Matt and Lisa. From the first stop to the final destination, we use our understanding to keep our clients on their unique path to success.
When it comes to banking, would you rather be a customer or an owner? At Greenville Heritage Federal Credit Union, our members are owners. We don't have shareholders, so our members enjoy lower fees and loan rates and higher deposit rates. And contrary to popular opinion, it doesn't matter where you work. You can join if you live, work, worship, or attend school in Greenville County. A minimum deposit of $5 in a savings account gives you access to a world of benefits. Visit GreenvilleHeritage.com for more information on how to join. Federally insured by NCUA.
This is no sleepy-headed, moving in reverse kind of state. We're home to barrier-breaking humans who took $7 billion and invested it in microchips, Potato chips? Nope. Education. This investment, it builds jobs and more jobs where people create things like flying, not that. Who does all this? Forward-thinking pilgrims of change, like you. South Carolina. Now that's smart.
Tonight's League One broadcast is presented by PNC, proud sponsor of the Triumph. Welcome back to the Oxford Barber Company halftime. Knotted up at the break 0-0 between Greenville and Northern Colorado Hailstorm. Kevin Erlinson, Ross Davenport with you on ESPN+. Let's take a look at the halftime highlights presented by Palmetto State Home Mortgage. Not a whole lot, but some early chances for Colorado.
Yeah, Paul Christensen had to come up big there on the edge of his 6-yard box. What a ball that was by Breck Evans. Found Prentice, and he shot from 15 yards. Christensen had to get those hands up quickly.
We were both surprised by Wolfgang Prentice's involvement in the final third. No goals thus far. It's an important header away by Norman. A great ball in by Ibarra. Greenville just started to press a little bit more. Another save, or another good chance this time for Lebovitz. Pinaranda forced into a save.
Yeah, that was the only shot on goal for the home team. Here's Prentice again. Should have done better here. Christensen was caught in no man land. If Prentice has just put that near post, he certainly would have found the back of the net. But not a surprise this game's 0-0. Greenville second in the league, 13 scoreless first halves, and lead the league in first half clean sheets. So not a ton of surprises that this game is scoreless at the half. Plenty of time for these teams to get it going. In the second 45, there's your halftime stats.
Halftime stats presented by Warehouse Services. Shots knotted up at 6 apiece, on target 2 for Colorado. You saw those 2 saves by Paul Christensen in the highlights. Possession just about even. It was way up for Colorado in the first 25 minutes, way up for Greenville in the second 25. We'll get a look at Greenville's huddle. We can already see one change so far, and you've been calling it all night, Ross. But Alan Gavilanes is into this match at halftime. What impact is he going to bring?
Well, chances created, Kevin. And amongst the league leaders, if not the league leader in chances created, just behind Rogers. But yeah, he'll get things going in that final third, hopefully, for Greenville, and try to give Labovitz some better service than he got in that first 45.
Maybe a little harsh for Nico Brown being substituted at halftime. I thought he looked bright, but them's the breaks when you're in that kind of position. And Gavilanes does bring a certain edge to his game that Nico Brown just doesn't quite have right now.
Yeah, listen, John Harkes has rotated a lot more this season. He knows he's got to try and keep the squad healthy as possible for these last 7 weeks or so.
Teams have switched sides, and the whistle goes. We are back underway for the second half. Will somebody find a goal? Stick with us to find out. Breck Evans sends it along to start, and Greenville will look to settle into more of a rhythmic approach to this half. They started to come on a little bit the last 10-15 minutes in the first half, but again, as you can see on the scoreboard, nothing showing thus far.
Listen, there's no easy games in this league. Even you're playing a team at home.
Entering the match, number 23,
Colorado, with only 2 wins in their last 11. They're still fighting for their playoff lives and have quality players like Parr. Perhaps we'll see Lachlan McLean, former Triumph man, here in the second half.
There's Lucas Coutinho. Play it in for Lebovitz. He is tackled a little bit as he tried to make a move. Dom clearing that away, and Owen Dom, we said his name a lot in the first half, once again coming up big defensively.
Oh, he's very quick.
We get a confirmation of the substitution presented by Sphinx. Gavilanes into the match for Nico Brown, and a free kick conceded by Greenville. That'll sputter out their attack. A lot of boo birds out tonight in Greenville.
Well, they had a good view of that one. Didn't like the decision by referee Encarnacion, but he's not going to change it.
The Hailstorm just look a little bit uncomfortable here in the first couple of minutes of the half. See if they can find their rhythm again. Wolfgang Prentice clattered into. That'll draw a free kick conceded by Derek Waldeck.
He's a little clumsy there from Waldeck.
So what's changes, what adjustments do you see John Harkes having made, other than the substitution, obviously, to find a breakthrough?
Well, I think Coutinho needs to get more involved. He's been knocked off the ball a couple of times. He's brought in this team to be that creative force in the middle. You can see perhaps him playing a little further up now, pushing forward alongside. He was sort of behind Labovitz earlier, but yeah, and getting Gavilanes involved on the wing as well. I'd love to get those crosses in, but the service has got to be better. They really only had that one chance. That was the header from Labovitz, and that's all to speak of in that first half. There's got to be more, especially when you're at home.
First touch for Gavilanes, but it's out for a Northern Colorado throw. If you're Ayman Zayed, do you make any adjustments at halftime?
I don't think so. Listen, they don't have many adjustments to make with the short bench, including 2 goalkeepers, including Zach Lubin, the assistant coach. So I think the longer this game stays 0-0, I don't think Zayed needs to do anything unless he's got guys running out of steam, perhaps around the 65, 70th minute mark. You'll probably see Marky Fernandez, although Fernandez, coming off a hamstring injury, not something you really want to push if you don't have to. I think he will take the point if it's on offer for him. Perhaps we see Dietrich. I think Lachlan McLean may get a run later on. Just get some fresh legs on up top, keep the pressure on that Greenville back four.
I certainly think if there are going to be substitutions to be made, it's going to be those two. Gavilani has a good run, but it's a little too far up, and Uranda comes out for it.
Unless Zach Lubin's got some secret striker history we don't know about. Kevin.
You never know. You never know. It could happen.
It's League One. Strange. You think you've seen the strangest things. Something else pops up like a goalkeeper goal.
That means you can't go anywhere. You got to stick it out because you might see something special at the end. Arthur Rogers under pressure.
Listen, we've had 5-5 this year. We never thought we'd see that, I don't think.
It was this Triumph who got into that 5-5. I guess you can't really call it a cage match with Tormenta, but certainly what the scoreline felt like as Greenville's high press pays off, forcing a turnover from Norty. Gavilanes trying to drive into the box at Norman, stops up. Good ball to the top of the box. Walker can't shoot. Coutinho, he does. It's blocked a little easily by Robles. Lee keeps it alive. Dummy attempt by Walker wouldn't go. And now Coutinho settles it down. Well done. Robles, his tackle from behind did just enough to force it loose for Norty.
You can see Lucas Coutinho getting a little frustrated. He's not getting the space he would like out there.
This is a good run by Jerry Deju. The break kind of peters out. Northern Colorado happy to keep possession. Wolfgang Prentice. Good cut inside on his left. Good looking ball over at Deju. Comes all the way for Para. His shot blocked. It'll be the first corner kick. PNC corners for kids in this second half.
Prentice has got a little something special about him. Great quick feet for a bigger guy. He's not short. Cuts it off this right wing here, and nice little chip ball in. Perhaps should have done better. It was a good block in the end by Frankie, though.
It was a good recovery by Frankie because he does hesitate. You have to wait to see where that ball is going to bounce, and once he saw it was going to go all the way through, he had to recover, and he did so well. Arthur Rogers will take this corner, 5th of the match for Northern Colorado. Boy, would they love to come up with a goal at this stage where they haven't really threatened lately. It'll be a right-footed in-swinger towards the near post, flicked on by Lukic, a little too high, and it goes all the way out. Nifty idea, good flick on by Lukic. Needed a 6'5" defender at the back post instead of a 6'3". Looks like the Hailstorm will try to apply a press. Try and trap the Triumph, but a good ball forward by Waldeck breaks that. Touch forward by Pearson. Coutinho looking for Gavilanes, an intervention by Rogers. That was important. Now Prentice. For Dom, wins a throw. It's Norman, excuse me.
That was good to see from Greenville. Sort of the first ball trying to really open up that back line. Get a ball between the lines and through behind. Gavilanes just got the pace for that.
So what do you make of this decision by Ayman Zayed to swap wings? Because he's got now Deju on the left and he's got Prentice on the right.
It's interesting. Again, Derek Waldeck hasn't played much soccer of late. The 90 minutes he played last weekend was the first full game he's gone through since June. So you think Waldeck might be starting to feel things a little bit around the hour mark. And I assume Zayed trying to take advantage of that.
Rogers trying to find Deju, but not quite strong enough. Needed one more Wheatie for breakfast. Dom will try to take quick, and he does find Lukic, who tries to head for Deju. That wouldn't do. Greenville will look to break the other way. They've run into trouble, and Deju has it. He'll make a cut. Spread it long for Prentice. Prentice gets to it, and a save by Christensen. It's still alive. Norty, that shot is blocked. The head of Evan Lee getting in the way of the Norty shot, but Paul Christensen, best save of the match so far.
Well, Waldeck just fell asleep for a second, and that allowed the danger man Prentice to get all that space. And yeah, I thought that had beaten Christensen in the 5-hole, but he just did enough.
Avalanias, a touch forward, looking for Labovitz. A good recovery by Breck Evans, who didn't know where the ball was initially. It was Ibarra who started that move down the right-hand side. Things are opening up just a little bit. We'll see for how long. Here's Pearson. They'll spread it long. Waldeck doesn't have any options on this left side, so he'll go back and Greenville recycles. Let the experienced team at Fifth Third Bank help you achieve your financial goals. The Hailstorm really fighting for their place in the league standings. We've mentioned a couple times, there's a lot of urgency in what they have to do to pick up points as they go. They're running out of matches, and the problem is the teams ahead of them that they're chasing, as I mentioned earlier, have more matches to play, so you can't rely on help. You have to do it all yourself, and then you're probably going to have to hope.
We'll certainly want to see plenty of draws in the results tonight.
Good ball for Frankie. He plays it all the way across. It'll stay alive for Waldeck. Pressure from Prentice. Waldeck will get it back. Gamelanias has looked bright in his first 8-9 minutes of action. Pearson, and now Walker. Does he have a moment of magic? Nice ball for Labovitz, too strong on the touch, and it's seen out by Evans for a goal kick. Went tumbling over, maybe a little more dramatically than he had to be. Though I think that was more the ball than it was Labovitz, and I think I need to take that back because he looks to be in some trouble.
I think Labovitz gave him a little bit of an assist. Don't like to see that. We've already seen one injury tonight in League One with a collision with an object. Alex Touche unfortunately collided with the front post, trying to stop a goal from going in. Rick Evans, I think he's all right.
All smiles between those three, even Encarnacion, the referee, having a little bit of a smile, and yeah, he just couldn't stop himself, and maybe he was just catching his breath after the clumsy way he went down. Not of his fault, of course.
Yeah, he's worked hard, Breck Evans. I'm talking to Eamon Zaid about him earlier this season, what a pickup he was. He was North Texas's captain. He was a 17 or 18-year-old when they won the title in 2019. Zaid, what a signing it was.
Well, it was a good, promising run by Ibarra, but then he got a little overzealous and yanked down Norty. I'm not sure what he's complaining about. He reached across his shoulder and just pulled him down. Maybe Greenville needs to see a little more out of him in this half.
Yeah, he needs to see a little more of everybody. It was bright first 5 minutes, but things have slowed down since then. Just haven't been able to break down this makeshift back four. I asked John Harkes if he was going to attack this back four any differently, knowing the changes that Eamon Zaid was forced into, and he said no. He was going to stick to his game plan. Had some late winners, though, of late. The Walker winner, the Brown winner, the 1-0 Vins is looking back to triumph of 2019 times when they kept pulling out those narrow victories.
We're certainly headed that way, but plenty of time to change the narrative. So another intervention from Owen Dom forces a turnover.
Greenville fans paying attention to the score, and Richmond will be even more concerned. 2-0 now to the kickers, Emiliano Terzaghi.
That is a big result, and Richmond can catch up to Greenville if they win their games in hand. We'll get back to that in a second. Here's Jerry Deju down the left side. Makes a cut to his right foot. Plays it all the way across Prentice in space. Onto his left foot, and he slashes it wide. Another shot in a promising area from Wolfgang Prentice that really didn't come close to hitting the target.
No, he should have done better here. Deju beautifully. It's a good first touch from Prentice and a good second shot, but Waldeck did well to get himself between the ball and the goal, and that forced the shot wide.
Well, not for the first time tonight. Really good run by Prentice, but you have to say he should have done better.
And the finishing touch wasn't there. It's now 3-0 Richmond. Omaha falling apart on the road. Big win for Richmond. That would be, Greenville would stay in first. They can hold on here for the point.
Omaha were going for their 12th match unbeaten. And that is going to come all tumbling down like a house of cards. It remains to be seen if it is a house of cards or a sturdy brick that just took a wobble.
I think they'll be just fine.
Ibarra. That's why you can't go for the easy metaphor, because sometimes you say something you don't mean. Coutinho. Looked like Norty a little bit hobbled after a tackle. Come back to that. Ibarra, nice ball in, and a flick header. Oh, what a stop by Piñaranda. It's still alive and off the post and out by Lebovitz. Wow, wow, wow. Out of nothing, a flashpoint moment. That was Peter Pearson, I believe, who got his head to that. And Piñaranda made a terrific save.
And he's earned his spot in this goal. That was a great header from Pearson, and Piñaranda stuck that right palm out, and then shot hits the post from Lebovitz. Golden chances there. Pearson certainly doesn't have many shots on goal this season.
Short corner, Waldeck will take to the back post. It's headed away. Certainly the best chance of the night for Greenville.
Yeah,
no question.
A ton of power on that header from the position he was in. Piñaranda looked beaten for half a second, but he just got that hand down there to scoop it away.
Triumph ramping up the pace. Ball in from Ibarra. It's headed away by Norman. It's still in the possession for the Triumph. Here's Coutinho, has space on his right foot. And that shot took a deflection, I think. Pops free for Ibarra on his left foot. Can't get away from Dom. Comes to Coutinho. A swing and a miss. And now Deju defending. Gavilanes in a tussle. And Deju goes down. There's a free kick. The crowd don't like it.
That was the right call. Deju got between Gavilanes and the ball. And the winger for Greenville just a little clumsy into the back of Deju.
Greenville making another substitution. Miles Fenton will come on in replace of Noah Frankie. This will be appearance number 15 for Fenton. Wasn't in the squad the last time these two played, but he has been for the last 10 matches. A Furman grad from Winslow, England. That in your neck of the woods?
Not quite, not too far away though. Yeah, Frankie obviously hasn't played a ton of full games as of late with those injuries. Came back and then got hurt again, so they're being careful with him. Fenton, see if he goes straight into that spot. More of a defensive midfielder normally for John Harkes, but he does have the flexibility to play a bit of fullback.
And that substitution, as they all are, presented by Spinks.
Looks to be going to this left side though. Let's see what happens here.
Wonder if Waldeck will switch to the other side or if they'll push him forward a little bit.
And Waldeck can play defensive mid as well. He was playing there a ton for North Texas.
Northern Colorado in possession. We've mentioned before, they don't really have a lot of flexibility to make substitutions. The same 11 still out there in the 60th minute. Cross from Prentice, a good header, and what a finish! Irvin Parra at the back post conjures a road goal for Northern Colorado, and they lead 1-0 with 30 to play.
Another back post header here at Legacy Alley by Irvin Parra. This one a lot different than the one in the first game, but just as effective in giving his team a goal.
I mean, that certainly was not in the cards the way this match has been going in the second half, as Irvin Parra getting the call. What a header that was. His 11th of the season. We get another look. Hailstorm leading at the league leaders.
Yeah, only Peter Pearson back there, keeping an eye on Ibarra. He got sort of turned around, never even made a play on the ball, really. He's never going to beat Parra to that one. And a firm header past two Greenville players on the line. One of those two should probably have been marking Parra, and Smith or Lee, and they weren't, and they paid dearly.
11-11 systems replay, and really the spot where he placed the ball was absolutely perfect. It couldn't be low, it couldn't be into the ground, it had to be looping into the back post, and he put it where nobody was going to stop it. And Irvin Parra could just have 3 crucial points for the Hailstorm.
He said they were going to continue to rely heavily on him. Greenville knew it. Couldn't do anything about that one. As you mentioned, Kevin, a perfectly placed header back across, the only place it was going to find the back of the net. And now Greenville find themselves potentially staring at second place.
Second goal involvement of the season for Wolfgang Prentice in just his 6th appearance. That's his 2nd assist. A fantastic ball in the end with the right foot, the left footer, or the player who is left footed. That was a sensational cross.
Well, he's certainly been their best player on the pitch tonight in the final third.
Free kick conceded by the Hailstorm, and into the book goes Irvin Parra. Not for his shenanigans with his boot after the goal, but for this foul. First yellow card of the match. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the SXM app. There's a chance for Greenville to get right back in at Pearson, but great defending again by Dom, and he draws the free kick to put that fire out. Oh, and Dom, that is 7 or 8, just absolutely fantastic individual efforts at defending.
He's been superb tonight, the loanee from Louisville City. Just turned 19 on Monday.
This would be a result that would send shockwaves throughout the entire league if the Triumph were to fall here to the Hailstorm. What an unbelievable result it could be. Just 15 players in the match squad taken.
Yeah, we're not going to count Zach Lucan. I agree with you.
He is officially listed as a substitute, but a couple of weeks ago he was only a coach. Lukic settling this one down. Now the Hailstorm will try to keep the ball as long as they can. Lukic drawing a foul out of Aaron Walker.
At this time, we would like
Chattanooga have
to
taken the
announce
2-1 lead. 5 minutes to go in Charlotte.
Winner is Julia Kay. Congratulations, Julia.
Crucial night in the USL League One.
Fans, before the next home match,
All to play for down the stretch. Really, nobody's out of it except for Tucson, but Tucson have been red hot as of late, so you can't really discount them either. Such a tight league this is. Dom forward. Deju gave it away. Walker looks to spring an attack, but right there is Breck Evans. Have to call on him for 25 more minutes, will Ayman Zayed's side. Prentice, left foot. Didn't find a ball. Aaron Walker takes over. Triumph just ratcheting up the press. In possession, they haven't been as urgent, but a free kick there drawn by Ibarra.
And one quick note about the Irvin Parra yellow card, Kevin. By my count, the USL discipline report had him with 10 coming into this week, and that gives him 11, and that means a 2-game suspension, I think, for Irvin Parra. He only sat 1 game out when he got 8. Parra might be missing 2 key matches for the Hailstorm, and what a loss that would be. But if they can get 3 points here, it might not sting as much.
That'll be for a worry on the plane ride back, not for the rest of the night. Deju. To drive at Pearson here, who's kind of slid into the right back role. We'll leave it instead for Lukic. And plenty of time and space for the two in the midfield for Northern Colorado. Coolly done by Norty for Dom.
You mentioned Fenton coming in. Look, Pearson, he was playing for that goal, and he was the one playing right back. Someone we saw him in preseason, but not since then. So the injuries starting to hurt Greenville. Starting to play him a little bit for that goal.
This is a good spell by the Hailstorm just to calm things down, keep the ball, kill off some clock, and regroup themselves mentally. Norman. Parra, who has come short.
You can see the confidence now just flowing through the Hailstorm, just knocking it about. Like Barcelona.
The message is clear, keep the ball. We can do it. And there was belief in this squad and in the coach Ayman Zayed. They believed that they could beat this team. Even though they lost 1-0 early on this season here, they believed that they could do it. And so far they are doing it, but the mountain isn't climbed just yet.
You said it was a lot about the mental side of things and the inconsistency Ayman Zayed, but you mentioned, yeah, he was very confident. Especially, they said the last game they felt they should have won that game. Confident coming into this one, no matter. That's one thing Ayman Zayed's not short of. His confidence, that's for sure. They even brought a mental coach in this week to talk to the team. Get them believing in themselves.
So far, it seems to have paid off. Greenville still have plenty of runway to find a way back into the match, so nothing is done just yet. A lot of work still to be done. Walker is dropped very deep now. It allows both fullbacks to press high. Here's Pearson. Flag stays down. He's got the ball in play to the back post, and Peñaranda gratefully lunges and claims. That was more promising for Greenville.
It was a nice Ball in the channel to Pearson getting forward, as you mentioned. When Aaron Walker drops back, that allows Pearson and Waldeck to get forward a little bit. And now he's going to take this break to get some water, and he's going to clean the ball.
Not sure what the whistle has gone for here because the ball is still in play. But they're going to take advantage of it. All benefiting Northern Colorado, who will use any chance they can to rest their legs. I'm really not sure what's happening here. Maybe a cooling break, perhaps? Has the temperature risen just a little bit more?
We didn't have one in the first half. You certainly wouldn't think it was any warmer than it was.
Well, that's where the
in
confusion
the first
comes
45. It does look like a water break. Not give John Harks, though. He won't complain. You can see in his gestures here, he's not a happy man.
Motivation is something he's very good at. See if he can inspire his side into claiming their first comeback victory of the season. They don't have a single one. They've only rescued one draw so far. So they're going to have to change that narrative tonight. They want to keep pace with Richmond. Is not a cooling break. It looks like an injury in the middle of the park for Irvin Parra. Or it's Norte, excuse me. And I mentioned earlier, about probably 10 minutes ago, he had pulled up a little bit. Looked like he was limping, but hadn't noticed anything since then. Him and Parra having...
Because Parra's done for the night.
And that's a big loss. Their captain and their goal scorer tonight, and their leading goal scorer on the season. And they're one of their emotional leaders as well. Looks like he's going to have to depart. And that's huge, not only because he's so important to them, but because now you've used up one of your three outfield substitutes.
He was perhaps grabbing his right hamstring. And if that, my count in the yellow cards is true, he'll miss 2 matches anyway. He looks like he's in some discomfort.
It could be fortuitous in the long run, but obviously right now, concern for the Hailstorm. I think Lachlan McLean, is going to come on to replace him, and there's the confirmation. Substitution presented by Sphinx. First of the night for the Hailstorm.
He would love nothing more to grab a goal here in his former home. You can see still got that left hand strapped up. He broke that early this season, had a foot injury. Been in and out of the lineup. Hasn't lived up to expectations. We were talking to Amos Ide about him earlier this season. He said he was the first call he made was to Lachlan McLean this offseason. Brought him in.
Scored 10 goals in his time with Greenville before coming over to Northern Colorado, the Sydney native. Made his 50th USL League One appearance last week. His appearance number 51 on the season number 21. And Alañez, his ball not finding a target, but he'll get a second chance to play it in. And Colorado will be all about defending from here on out. You have to think, especially with Parra going off. Walker looks to spread. Pearson keeps it alive, but then have support. Owen Dahm will wait for his goalkeeper to come collect. Inching closer to the finish line are Northern Colorado. I'm going to say it a lot from here on out. A lot of work left to be done, but getting that goal in the 60th minute from Irvin Parra, something that I don't think either of us would have expected. Not before the match, not after the first half, not after the first 10 minutes of the second half, but the Hailstorm have done it so far.
I think overall they've been the better team in this game. Other than that, perhaps that early spell in the second half where they looked a little wobbly coming out of the halftime break, but Irvin Parra, one of the best goal scorers in this league.
Dahm for Deju, who comes for it. Dahm making a run, hasn't done a whole lot of that in this match. Deju invited to shoot, and what a finish! Absolutely brilliant from Jerry Deju. He had the space, he took the space, and the Hailstorm are marching on to victory at the home of the league leaders.
You see Paul Christensen just puzzled about how they allowed that much space for Jerry Deju. What a great strike it was, but you can't allow anybody in this league that has any kind of goal-scoring ability that much space within 25 yards of goal, and Jerry Deju made him pay.
Goal for Northern Colorado.
Well, all the way back in April, he scored the first goal in club history in the U.S. Open Cup. But this could be the most important goal he'll score all year. A 2-goal cushion, a sensational strike.
It's Pearson again. He had help from Walker on the inside, so as a defender, you've got to know you have help and perhaps close him down, and it didn't happen. Pearson at fault once again. Not a right back. Injuries forcing that change, and now find themselves down 2-0 to Triumph.
And they will have to come well out of their shell, something that Eamon Zayed told us they are not comfortable doing. That was his analysis to them, and 2 goals back is a very rough hill to climb. Oh, and Dom clearing away. Held in. Nicely done by Evans. Or Lee, excuse me, Evan Lee. Walker doesn't have space for the cross. Goes back to Waldeck. The urgency multiplied by 100 for Greenville. They have to find something, and it has to be quick. Avalanez under pressure from Norman, holding him off. Still alive, no whistle yet. And no whistle to come. Niftily done for Coutinho, and it couldn't come back to him. Ball back into the box, cleared away by Evans. First touch, if you can believe it, from McLean. And he wins a throw for his side. I think 5 minutes he went without a touch on the ball after coming on, and his side scored a goal in that span. What a result this would be. I can imagine all the other broadcasters in the booths around the league are stunned at seeing this result come down on their phone.
I mean, Northern Colorado's popped up with some of these results this season at times. That 4-1 win at home against Fuego, big 2-1 win over Chattanooga. They popped up with results here and there, but then would have a disappointing one to follow it. So it's not, again, we talked to coaches earlier this season about the amount of talent on this Hailstorm team. I know they're short-handed, but they've still got a ton of good players on the field tonight, and they've shown it.
Certainly not over yet as Norman gives away a free kick. And a little too hard into Fenton. Looks like we'll have another substitution.
Presented by Speaks for Greenville.
John Hart's trying to empty the clip, as it were. Alex Cox Ashwood coming onto the match. Lucas Coutinho is the one who will make way in the Sphinx substitution. Perhaps a little puzzling considering how bright Coutinho has looked on the ball.
Yeah, he's had moments tonight, but the frustration was building. Cox Ashwood, much more of a direct attacker. Just like a fresh body to get in the box here, especially on this set piece.
Local in the sense that he went to Anderson University. He provided a spark. Avalanez, left-footed to the penalty spot, headed away by Rogers.
Nobody attacking the front post at all for Greenville. You've got to at least keep defense honest.
Good work by Ibarra to win that back, put it in, and guess who? Dom clears away. It's still alive. A shot comes on over the bar. Just didn't have enough dip on it in the end for Miles Fenton. And still Greenville will claw at nothing. 15 minutes left for Greenville to find something as we get another look at this 11-11 systems replay.
It was a good knockdown by Pearson. Fenton made good contact with it. Obviously not a goal scorer to be relied upon by Greenville, but found himself in a good spot there.
Foul given away by Lukic. Greenville want to go quickly and short. Certainly Evan Lee does. Smith. Here's Fenton. He's popping up in quite a few spaces. Nicely done into Lebovitz. A layoff. Ball comes in from Cox Ashwood, but no target on the back post and cleared away by Prentice. Not very far. Waldeck, check that. Lee has it. Here's Walker. Ibarra turns on his right foot. Wants Pearson. Didn't have him. Clearance knocked down. Norty able to help out, and referee spotting something. And it's a Greenville player in a heap. I think that was contact from ball to head into Peter Pearson, but he gets up right away. Those never feel good.
No. And Pearson trying to make up for his 2 bits of, I'm not going to call them defensive mistakes. He just wasn't in the right place and didn't close down.
for Northern Colorado. Entering the match, number 15.
So another Sphinx substitution for Northern Colorado, and the man departing, Jerry Deju, has really left his impact on this match.
In the 78th minute.
It's just far too much space. Walker just a little lazy coming across to help, and you can see how upset Christensen was. Jerry Deju, too good of a player to leave that much space.
And even when you're afforded that kind of space, there's still a lot to do to finish. You have to hit it perfectly, and the Haitian International certainly did. As Jackson Dietrich will come on to replace Deju on the left-hand side. And that's 2 of 3. Will we see Marky Hernandez come on? Maybe with a 2-0 lead, you don't need to. We'll see what Ayman Zayed wants to do. The ball restarted. It's in the Hailstorm's possession when the referee stopped play, so they'll keep it, and they'll try to keep it as long as they can. Rogers long. And free kick whistle, I think McLean maybe got a hand to that ball. You can't do that.
It's a final in Richmond, 3-0 win for the Kickers. So now via goal difference, they have a plus 13 goal difference over Greenville. As things stand, they move into first place, tied on 38 points. Chattanooga also winning right now. They're now within 3 points of Greenville. Things tightening up here. Get into the last couple of months.
Never a dull moment in this league. Avalanez couldn't bring that ball down. Rogers will clear it away. Ibarra once again trying to conjure something. He's looked very bright, but just hasn't had the final product just yet. Cross comes in, headed away by Rogers, up in the air. Benton for Avalanez. And Waldeck a ball in with pace, but once again to a vacant spot. And first touch for Dietrich. I spoke too soon, he didn't touch it. Goes out for a throw.
Dietrich was on the injured list last week with a hamstring issue. Healthy enough to go the rest of the way here, though, it appears.
Product of the Werder Bremen Academy in Germany, but has found his way to the States. Played for Chattanooga last year. Walker trying to find a teasing ball in. Doesn't. And Prentice will look to escape. And he does escape. Fenton left in the heap. McLean through the middle. Prentice doesn't use him. Finally lays it off for Robles. Wants to play it into a channel for Dietrich. It's cleared away by Pearson. Excuse me, that was Cox Ashwood. But Northern Colorado holding on to the ball. And the referee stopping play for a foul. There was no advantage to be gained there. With just about 10 minutes left to play. 10 minutes for Greenville to find something, anything that resembles a foothold back into the match. But they're getting nothing but air at the moment. Northern Colorado will take their time. At every chance, they will take their time. It's turning into a sad night in Greenville. After reclaiming the top spot, they are on their way out of the top spot.
It's been the third loss in the last 5 games. And a ton of road games down the stretch for Greenville, for them on the road, including at Omaha, at Northern Colorado, and at Richmond. Certainly no 3 easy trips there. Not had 3 straight clean sheets yet this season. There's the chance here to get it, but not going to happen.
It could be for bad to worse for them. For Greenville, they've got a tough schedule ahead. Play Forward Madison at home next weekend, and then they're on the road for 3 against Charlotte, against Union Omaha, and then they play these Hailstorm of Northern Colorado. Just a bit of a delay in the restart of this match. Players taking advantage of the opportunity to get some water. This will surely add some stoppage time. Saw some fans skittering away from a spot. I'm not sure what happened. Prentice being stretched out. Like I said, never a dull moment in this league.
Prentice did another bit of calf cramp, perhaps.
He certainly earned that one. Been all up and down the left side for Northern Colorado, and then the right side in this half.
Substitution presented by Speaks for the Hailstorm.
It looks like he might be departing.
Number 11.
Another substitution presented by Sphinx. Marky Hernandez does come on after all, and it is Wolfgang Prentice who departs. And that is all 3 substitutions used by Eamon Zayed. You got to look at that bench. There's so many open seats there. He has used all 3 outfield players, and unless backup keeper Thomas Olsen fancies himself a midfielder all of a sudden, that'll be that for Eamon Zayed. But I don't think he's going to care at this stage. His side have done, certainly they'll think, enough. They just have to see out the rest of the match.
Yeah, an impressive night from Prentice. 4 shots, all inside the box. Could have had certainly a couple of goals in that first 45 minutes.
Of course, he did have the important cross to Irvin Parra's opener. So he does get a goal contribution. His 2nd assist in just 6 appearances for his new club. On loan from Oakland Roots. So I guess I shouldn't say new club per se, but this season hasn't even been here a month, and he's already proved to be a vital addition.
Of course, when he gets back to Oakland, they're going to have a different coach than when he left. Ron Garrett departing there for Phoenix.
Could be a benefit, especially if he continues this good run of form. Walker gave it away, and Dom will say thank you very much and kick that one away. Northern Colorado letting that one run out, and they'll take their sweet time to restart play. Now the reigning title holders visit in-state rivals as the USL on ESPN2 continues. Orange County SC looks for a late season surge against Sacramento Republic FC Sunday, September 18th at 5 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. The Hailstorm maybe pressing for something. Marky Hernandez just onto the pitch. To the back post, and it's kept alive briefly by Dietrich, but nothing doing in the end. Christensen let that go out for a goal kick.
Yeah, Hernandez missed the last 5 games with a hamstring injury.
And assist in the match played here in June on the Irvin Parra goal. It's very noticeable. He's only 5'5", so if you see a guy who's shorter than the rest out there running around, that's Marky Hernandez, and he does run. What an engine he's got.
Yeah, he's not short in hustle, that's for sure.
Anaheim, California native. 2 goals, 3 assists on the year. This is his 18th appearance. And I've got a soft spot for him, if only because he's a former member of beloved Chivas USA.
There you go.
Not many are. Not these days, anyways.
No.
We're into the 85th minute. The Hailstorm still holding on comfortably and commandingly to this 2-0 lead. Greenville still searching for something. Searching for anything.
Only 2 shots on goal tonight. Certainly be a disappointing stat for John Harkes. Biggest stat guy, but considering the makeshift back line that NoCo put out this evening, you'd have expected Greenville to produce more quality chances than they have done. 3 points here for that man tonight, Eamon Zayed.
Just the 5 shot attempts in this half for the Triumph, and none of them have been on target. Or just the one, excuse me, was that header from Pearson. Is another free kick conceded by Greenville. Best save of the match for Peñaranda to keep things level at the time.
It was a timely save too.
And it was just after that Peter Pearson found himself shifted, and that's kind of when the match turned. Ball down the left looking for Hernandez. Pearson clears that one away. So that's certainly an interesting battle over there. You got 5-5 against 5-7. Short Kings reigning supreme. Always have to show solidarity with my fellow Short Kings. Owen Dom down the left side. Ball cleared away by Jamie Smith, but they need to keep possession, do Greenville. Clearances just won't do right now. Norty for Dietrich. And this is turning into really something astounding, the way that the Hailstorm have kept the ball since going 2-0 up.
Yeah, just got to prove to do this on a consistent basis if they're going to find themselves in the playoffs. Again, a favorable schedule down the stretch for the last 6 at home, but the loss of Irvin Parra might be a big one.
What a flick by Lukic for Hernandez, and in space Dietrich on his left foot. That shot blocked. Maybe a little disappointing, and Waldeck didn't really have to do much to get in the way of that. But Dietrich will just take this to the corner, and he wins a throw. But just to set it again, to emphasize how amazing this is, Northern Colorado are 9th in the league at the home of the league leaders, down to a 16-man squad, one of which is an assistant coach, and they are leading 2-0, and the league leaders haven't had a touch of the ball since it's been 2-0. It's unbelievable.
And Charlotte losing to Chattanooga tonight. Northern Colorado now just goal difference behind them for that 6th and final playoff spot.
Another Sphinx substitution for Greenville. Peter Pearson departing, and Jonah Bigger comes into the match, just 17 years old. To Oak Brook Prep High School. He's a senior there. Scored a state championship winner in the 105th minute a couple of years ago as a sophomore. So this is a big moment for him, but it's looking like it's going to be, as our producer Ryan Rose said earlier in the highlights package, a historical footnote.
Good to see the academy guys getting in there. Greenville has a handful of them that train with the pro squad.
Lukic toying with Bigger. Now puts the ball into the back post, and it's headed over by, there's little Marky Hernandez leaping up for that ball and steered it over the bar, not on target. Bigger just thrown into the fire right away, defending on that occasion. Long ball. Norman has it. Greenville don't. And Uranda will clear. They are just so close. They can taste the 3 points on the road. I have to say, this will be the biggest result of the season for them if they hold on. All indications showing they will. Ball to the back post by McLean. That was a good one, and it forces a corner. Another PNC Corners for Kids for Northern Colorado. They've got the ball exactly where they want it, as far away as possible from Piñaranda.
Well, I must have jinxed the Independents. Well, excuse me, Chattanooga. The Independents have just tied things up right in the death in Charlotte. So 2-2 now between the Independents and the Red Wolves.
Still maybe a little early to be scoreboard watching for Northern Colorado. They know that it's all about them right now. They have to do their job. They have certainly done that tonight. One of the shock results of the season in the league, not just for the Hailstorm. But here's a good job by Jacob Lavovitz to bring the ball down. And he's got Ibarra ahead of him. Wanted to slip into the middle for Fenton. Ball still alive, and now it's gone, but a free kick.
I think Lavovitz might have lashed out there on the ground yet. We've got a bit of action here after the whistle.
Him and Norty having some words and disagreements.
If the referee didn't get a good look at it, the assistant referee did. He was right there. Perhaps we'll get another look at it on the camera. I thought I saw Lavovitz lash out on the ground after being taken down by Owen Dahm.
A lot of sorting out to be done here for Joshua Encarnacion as we are across 90 minutes into stoppage time now. Haven't gotten confirmation just yet of how much there will be for Greenville. 6 minutes there up on the board. Stoppage time brought to you by Engineered Sleep, the best handmade mattresses in town. Visit engineeredsleep.com for better sleep. This is the two combatants head back with cooler heads into the fray, and it is a free kick for Greenville. So if they can capitalize here, they'll have just about enough time to maybe scratch out a point.
Let's see what happened on this 11-11 systems replay. It was Lavovitz and Dahm messing around, and then you can see there was a kick out on the ground from Lavovitz. No card issued. So yeah, as you mentioned, Kevin, they got to do something here from this set piece.
Crucial moment in the match. Avalanez, he'll take with the left foot to the back post, and that's easy for Johan Piñaranda. He falls to the ground, breathes a sigh of relief, and maybe try to get a cup of coffee before he releases this ball.
He'll certainly take his time. He did in the, maybe not.
Spoke too soon as he releases for Hernandez. Northern Colorado will try to keep the ball, but Dahm hasn't done so here. Hernandez forced to concede the throw. What do Greenville have left in the tank? They couldn't, could they?
I don't predict anything anymore in this league in the last 5 minutes.
Well, the ball going backwards. Christensen, he'll lump it as far as he can. But Dahm will clear away. Plenty of space for Norty to flick away. Now he's got it back, but he falls down, and maybe a chance here. Here's Cox Ashwood. Gives it up, and he's misplay by Ibarra. Rick Evans didn't really look comfortable on that clearance. The throw for Greenville. Play still alive. Ibarra, a footed cross, looking for a flick from Cox Ashwood. He couldn't beat Evans. It's cleared away. Not very far. Avilanes goes down, and that's a free kick. And another chance to deliver a ball in. We said the last one they had to do something with it. This one, they absolutely have to do something with it.
Yeah, just forced Peñaranda to make a save. He really made that one critical one earlier in this half. Hasn't had a ton else spectacular to do. Just been in the right place at the right time.
And Alanius will take this one. Does have Ibarra short. He won't use him. He tried to go short, and he does just about get it through to Fenton. Here's Ibarra, left-footed shot, and Peñaranda comes up with the save.
Put it on frame at least. Ibarra with his least favored left foot. Made good contact though. I'm not sure how far Peñaranda had to go.
Short corner. Waldeck, left foot, back post, goes all the way. It's kept alive, and Walker will keep it in. And in by Fenton, and headed away by Rogers. And Lukic will wait for it, and he will control it, and clears it away. Well done. And Northern Colorado survive, and that might have just been that. It would take something special. 2.5 to go in the stoppage time. Dom kicks this one sky high. Walker able to head the ball forward, but it comes all the way back again. And this is fantastic work by Northern Colorado, seeing this one out. They've had, you could even argue, better chances than Greenville have had in terms of adding another goal. Dietrich keeping the ball for as long as he can. Was it that long in the end? Greenville looked to break quickly. Just 2 minutes to play. Cox Ashwood cut out. Well done by Rogers. And now Dom. Sensational performance in the back line. Has to be in the conversation for man of the match. And Dom will keep it in here. The furthest he's been all match. He'll just keep the ball alive. And he wins his side at throw, and that will kill more clock. And it could kill the rest of the clock. And Greenville look to be headed. Won't use the word embarrassing because this league is very tight. There's no such thing as an embarrassing result, but this is surely a shocker for their supporters.
Yeah, just a surprise at how little they were able to produce in that final third. I mentioned 11 shots, but only 2 on target. That's not going to win you many games.
Well, the good news for this side, we'll get back to this point in a second, is Avilanes looks to break free. Cox Ashwood down the left side. Got Waldeck striding forward to help. And Waldeck will get the ball. Cross deflected right to Peñaranda. The Reedy River Riot scream handball. They're not going to get that one. And that might have been the last break for Greenville. But John Hark's telling us before the match, of course, that they don't get too high when they rattle off these wins. Every match is its own contained 90 minutes, so you're not worrying about the last match. And, of course, that means they're not going to get too low after this one.
No, we had that crazy 5-5 game when they had a big lead and lost 5-1 to Chattanooga, and they bounce back every time. Big match coming up now next weekend against Forward Madison before 3 straight on the road. If they don't catch a result in that Madison game, things are going to get tight.
Here's Fenton, and that won't do. When Colorado wanted offside whistled against Avilanes earlier in that sequence. But it's all about Joshua Encarnacion and his whistle. When will he blow for full time? The Hailstorm want it to be right now. Stefan Lukic wants it to be right now. He can barely walk. And what a shift he's put in.
Let me get out of bed in the morning. Feeling that lower back. Even with that loss tonight, Omaha 4 points behind Greenville with 2 games in hand. So certainly those top two spots, it's going to be a great race between perhaps 4 or 5 teams. Even Charlotte's still in the mix.
You can catch every USL League One match right here on ESPN Plus. Should be a fantastic finish to the season. Encarnacion still does not blow his whistle. And the Hailstorm bench can't understand it. It's still theoretically alive for Greenville. Here's Jonah Bigger. And now Waldeck. Cox Ashwood on his right foot. Plays it in. Good-looking ball. It's headed down, but Ibarra couldn't steer it goalwards, and he runs into the advertising board. And that is that. A massive result for Northern Colorado. They go on the road to the league leaders, and they take them down emphatically 2-0 winners.
No, a great effort by Ayman Zayed. Guys came into this game short-handed, injury, suspension, and come out of it with a 2-0 win over the former League One leaders.
In the end, Irvin Parra's 60th minute header stands up as the winner. Jerry Deju, a fantastic goal to make it 2-0. But Parra's goal, the only one they needed, is they kept Greenville Triumph quiet all night. The 4th clean sheet of the season for the Hailstorm. Johan Peñaranda getting the plaudits, applauding the opposing fans behind his net. He had some important saves. There's a look at Irvin Parra, who had to come off, was forced off due to injury, but he was fantastic tonight. Really wasn't a player who didn't have a fantastic performance. So let's take a look at tonight's play of the game presented by GSP Airports. It comes the last gas chance for Greenville. Jesus Ibarra, good shot, but it was deflected over the bar from Peñaranda to keep it at 2-0 as we take another look.
Yeah, ball fell nicely to Ibarra, made good contact with his left foot. Peñaranda didn't have to do a whole lot, but made sure that ball went over the net and not in the net.
Certainly had a lot of pace on it, but he was equal to the save, and that was really the last good chance of the match. Now, the save of the game presented by Bravo One Protection, and Paul Christensen had some really important saves in the first half. This was the first one.
Yeah, lovely ball over the top. Prentice, tons of space, great strike, and an equally great save by Paul Christensen. Unfortunately, he didn't do anything about the two that did go in.
Wolfgang Prentice, another fantastic performance for the Hailstorm. He is really embedding himself well into this side as Irvin Parra congratulates his team. They come into Greenville and they come away with a 2-0 win. We'll wrap up with the Priority One Security postgame on the other side after this.
It's not about building a home in just 30 hours for a deserving family with Habitat for Humanity, or about building homes for a national television competition. It's about building memorable experiences with our community, team members, and trade partners that will last for a lifetime. Hunter Quinn Homes, building the difference.
Hey, Triumph fans! Whenever the Greenville Triumph score not 1 goal, but 2 goals during a home game, you score big with happy hour pricing and all specialty beers at Habitat. Just bring your game day ticket or tell your server eat more beer to enjoy these special beers paired with fresh, scratch-made food. We also offer an extensive menu of cocktail, wines, and a great place to watch all the away games of the Greenville Triumph. Swing by Habitat and cheer on the team. Habitat, proud sponsor of the Greenville Triumph.
With Academy Sports and Outdoors, you can take outdoor fun to a whole new level with just the touch of a button, because there's so much to discover on the Academy app. Create your dream outdoor living space that gets the whole family out there spending time together. Master new recipes with just the right amount of heat and the perfect spice or seasoning. And give the kids even more ways to play. Great times are waiting. Download the Academy Sports and Outdoors app today.
Welcome back to tonight's post-game presented by Priority One Security in Greenville. A 2-0 victory for the Northern Colorado Hailstorm. Irvin Parra the winner, Jerry Deju adding a second. Just a stunning result, and I'm sure a lot of people around the league are going to look at it as such.
No, massive 3 points for the Hailstorm. Can you pop up with these results now and again? Now it's just a question of continuing that momentum into these last 6 matches and trying to get into the playoffs.
So let's take a look at the full-time highlights presented by GSP Airports. And it was really all Northern Colorado in terms of chance creation. Here's Wolfgang Prentice, a great save by Christensen in the second half. That was the first big chance for either side in the second half.
Yeah, Prentice could have had himself a hat-trick in this game without too much trouble.
Here's a really good save. Peñaranda, Peter Pearson, a good header, but Peñaranda equal to it.
Peter Pearson, you expect him to be a story in the second half, but it turned into one. Great chance there. Lovely save by Peñaranda, who continues to excel in place of Thomas Olsen.
But here was the moment. Para for Lukic. Look at that flick with the left foot and the back heel. And Prentice just gets himself into an area, cross to the back post, and there's Para.
Yeah, Pearson just sort of lost track of him, got caught ball watching. Just like the last meeting, Para popping up at the back post. Not as much power on this one. This was more about placement. Nothing Jamie Smith or Evan Lee could do about it on the line, and maybe he's calling his agent for a new deal.
He certainly could ask for one. 11 goals on the season. That leads the team. And here's Jerry Deju. What a moment this was.
Cut back inside, and even 5 yards of space. Jerry Deju will do that to us. Even Zayed raving about him during the week, just knowing what he's capable of, and he showed it right there.
That made it 2-0 for the Hailstorm, and they really never looked back as he's going to look at the full stats in this match. Shots 14 apiece, just 3 on target for Greenville. Peñaranda had to make a couple of decent saves, but in the end, really wasn't a worry for the Hailstorm as they defended so well and they attacked very well as well.
Yeah, just a game of taking your chances when they're given to you. The Hailstorm took their 2, and Greenville really didn't. They only had the really one quality one to force that Peñaranda to save. But back to the drawing board for John Harkes here. Take on Madison next Saturday.
So Greenville will go again at home against Forward Madison next week. The Hailstorm go back home to face North Carolina. 3 huge points for the Hailstorm. It could jumpstart their playoff push. For our producer Ryan Rose, for Ross Davenport, I'm Kevin Erlinson saying so long from Greenville, South Carolina. The final score, Northern Colorado Hailstorm 2, the Greenville Triumph 0.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.